Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here and welcome to episode number 14 of Glory Hunter as we look to play Manchester City, who's led by Diogo Simeone. After last season, City struggles in finishing third and winning the FA Cup, which is still a not bad year. They sat Pep, Simeone has their men top, and we have a massive game as we have a game in hand on City, and a win here today would see us go top of the table or at least level with Liverpool after this game. In terms of the Champions League, I did play the Dortmund game because it didn't really matter too much, to be fair, after beating Dortmund, slapping them in the last episode. We won 2-1 away from home and 1-0 down, but yet again, look at the stats, and that's away in Germany. This team is purring 62% possession and great pass completion. And, well, that leaves us top of the group. We do have a game against Ajax that would open the group up. Only problem is with that is Ajax win, they go 2 points back when we play Young Boys at home. So we're topping the group, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So that means in today's episode, we are solely focusing on Manchester City and Liverpool. Liverpool, obviously, we are the team that's equal with us, and they are a couple of games down the track. We will, in the middle, recap the goals of Ajax and, of course, Young Boys, let you know how we go against Palace, and then we will fully rotate against Young Boys and have a massive, massive fixture against Liverpool away at Anfield. It'll be interesting to see what we can do. Lastly, one last point as well is I'm actually currently reinstalling my DF11 original packs, so we should eventually get the clean faces of Haaland at City, etc. I'm one that's usually pretty meticulous to detail, but this is something that I've let lapse, so I know that that's actually been something that someone's mentioned to me in the Discord, so yes, we are updating everything, so everything matches here as well. You guys would not have seen this by now. I'm actually filming this about 3 or 4 hours before I go live on stream to end this season on stream. Links down below. It looks like most Sundays we're going to definitely try to stream some Glory Hunter. So if you want to check that out, links down below and come see what it is all about. Anyway, Manchester City, let's go and have a look at how the team are looking. What's Simeone done in his first year? What did Pep do last year? Some of the business there, but we're going to have a look at what they've done this year. Cancelo out to Bayern, Nathan Ake, they sold to Liverpool, who's actually having a really good year as well. Cole Palmer's on loan, there's a lot of loans there. And this year, in terms of money, they brought in Ilic, Cooper Miners, and then Tammy Abraham from Roma, who's had a name change since the update as well. But, and he's apparently starting regularly. I think it's because Diogo Simeone uses two up top, and Haaland and Alvarez is what's picked, but I would just imagine it would be Haaland and Tammy in most games. In terms of the team, we're in pretty good nick. The only thing is we're just back from an international duty, and Estupiñán coming back from halfway across the world is still a little bit legless. Please note, Zanolo's having a fantastic year, one of our new signings. He is probably should be nailed on. He's not, but he should be. Diarastica as well. I'm not ruling out the fact that we could be here for a third year. I think we're in a really, really, really good spot with the team. That, if we could get Zanolo to start alongside Bowen and Pasquetta, Saychek, Sasado, Suchek, and then maybe even go after an elite defender, I think we're pretty much around the mark to push for the league title. Today's episode will definitely show that, and I think if we can somehow nab a result against City or Liverpool, or both, this year could be maybe a year we fight for it. But I think you'd be, third season, West Ham, lots of money, Champions League, made it through the group. Maybe we should stick around and see what happens, but it also depends on what opportunities come abroad. Let's have a look at the job security before we maybe get into it here as well. I don't think there would be much job security issues for a big team around. We wouldn't move anyway. But, you got Milan, yet again, is insecure because they're down in 7th, and they're one of the best teams in Italy, right? For instance, you're looking at all these other teams that maybe come around. What happens if Liverpool or City start slipping off, which I don't think they would? What happens if Atletico, Thomas Tuchel, 8th place? What happens if Atletico finish there at the end of the year and their job comes available? Within 2 years, and with how good Real Madrid and Barca are, I think in 2 years and one really good league run, you can win the league there. And you probably win the Spanish Cup as well, depending on if you avoid Barca or Real Madrid at any stage. So, that's the beauty of Glory Hunter, always looking out, always seeing what happens. But I do think there is a viable option. I said that it was only going to be a 2-year thing here at West Ham. From what I've seen this year and the money we spent and the money we still have in the club, I think it's viable we stay here for a third year. Because if you break every section up 4 years per spot, then you'll do Glory Hunter just in 20 seasons. So I actually think we could spend a third year at West Ham and not have to be rushed out the door. to go get another big job. And saying that, though, if a big boy comes knocking about, then I probably will look to move on. Anyway, Edison's in goals. Diaz, Laporte, and Foyth in a free at the back with Rodri, with Walker and Javi Gullen, who's fantastic. Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne ahead of Rodri with Julian Alvarez and Haaland. So they're not starting Tabby Abraham, which is odd. Maybe they're slightly rotating against us. John Stone's on the bench. Mara's on the bench. They have some wide players there. Akanji not starting either. Yeah, interesting, because I think he's very good. Saying that one, Foyth is pretty okay. Laporte's pretty okay, and Ruben Diaz is pretty goated. So, look, they're a good side. It's Manchester City. We've been in really good form. We've actually been really good against Manchester City in the entire save under Pep. Under Simone, I don't know. Now, I was trying to get through my last game here against Leicester, which I have to recap the results, which I forgot to do. But, yeah, things have been going all right. As Calvert-Lewin's in, and Edison makes a great save. Apparently it was offside anyway. If I just click on Calvert-Lewin, or maybe not, corner, Bowen, Zuma, Calvert-Lewin, onside, we lead 1-0. Well, don't worry about the results of what's happened previously. We lead 1-0 3 minutes in against Manchester City. And this is what I mean. This 4-3-3 is purring. When we're at home, we're a different animal. Think away from home, occasionally we're not particularly great. But yeah, look, Calvert-Lewin, fantastic at the back stick. He is scoring goals for fun, by the way, this year. But look at the first 10 minutes. City yet to have a shot, 60% of the ball. It's a different Manchester City. It's a City that plays on the break. It's a City that I think we can get at. It's a City that will eventually come into the game with the quality they've got as well. It's just weird for them to go get Simone, who plays a very disparate brand of football, but obviously an elite manager, hence why they've got him. Alvarez is offside here, so don't worry about that one. It's not even close. Still going to be 1-0 West Ham. This is the thing. We're 20 minutes in. We're leading 1-0 against City at home, and we've been the better side, bar one moment City have had for a offside disallowed goal. I understand it is a different City, but we were doing this against Pep's teams last year, where we were really strong against them. I just think there's a world where if we don't win the FA Cup this year, and that could all come down to who we draw, etc., then we've got to stay. As Bowen's in here, Edison with a great save, outstretched hand, made himself big. Or else that was 2-0. And look, very good start. I might just mention I think Zanolo would have scored. Don't know what to do. Maybe it's Marcus Thuram out of the side as a backup player, even though he had a really good year last year. We'll just say Pickford's had a pretty good year too. Oh, here we go. Good timing, Damien, as Haaland scores. Oh, he's missed. Haaland missed. Good ball out from Pickford. Zuma, Sasado, Souček. Great ball to Bowen. This is where we can stretch the free at the back. Bowen can make a run beyond. Should have been over the top into his space. But Calvert-Lewin's in here. Thuram's at the back stick if he wants him. He doesn't because he's going to go himself. Calvert-Lewin 2-0. And it was all the movement in the initial build-up phase of Bowen dragging out the third defender and playing through the press. I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to these sort of things. Great second line ball from Pickford. 3 points of passing lane. So one into here who can chip into this thing here. And because you've got Gavin saying, I can't sit here, I've got to press Gomez, because Gomez is going to face forward and be able to drive into space. One little ball in and out, you're out. Or one ball here and out, you're out. All the passing lane we opened up was sensational. Which is Zuma, Sasado, in between. Simple little knock. And this is what I love. Bowen's recognised it. That's why I playing fairly wide. Drag the space. Open it up. Create the channel here for Calvert-Lewin to make the run into. Should have been over the top of the Bowen who beat his man. And he even had the run there as well of Salcedo, or actually Pasquetto, there's a number 10, getting forward there as well. But 2-0, that's a superb goal. When you're doing that to Manchester City, you're very happy. All starts from Pickford's distribution as well, by the way. And that's why we bought him. He's a very good shot stopper, and he's got good distribution for a keeper that apparently is not liked on FM for whatever reason. So, very happy. 50 minutes in, corner, Javi Gullen, Pickford comes and claims. Not bad for little arms. Still an Everton keeper in real life, so we're not going to say we love him. But I do have a soft spot for Pickford because I think he's a good keeper. Now, this is where Calvert-Lewin can be a bit of a nuisance, but instead, the long ball, and Calvert-Lewin didn't even make an attempt, and here comes City. I actually don't mind that from Pickford, by the way, because Calvert-Lewin's 6 foot whatever. Anyway, Bowen on the break. He looks for Calvert-Lewin. Great touch, Calvert-Lewin. Dink Calvert-Lewin. Goal Calvert-Lewin. So Calvert-Lewin hat-trick. DCL is in the house, and he is elite, ladies and gentlemen. He is having a season and a half. Is DCL. Bowen with the touch. DCL zigging and zagging. Great touch. Leaves Laporte for dead. Might have nutmegged him too with the touch. Wonder if we're going to get like a little check for offside even though it wasn't close. We won't. It looked like nutmegged him. That's unreal. We're 3-0 up here. XG of just over 2 against City. We are dominating. Now, with us dominating, Estupian is dead, so Creswell's going to come on. With that as well, Bowen out the other side, and I'm going to bring Zanolo in. And you know what? Calvert-Lewin's got 3. Get a rest, man. Get a rest. Danny Ings, different type of striker, Danny Ings, so you move him to advance forward. Triple change. DCL, 60 minutes with a hat-trick. Out he come, buddy. He's also a bit injury-prone, DCL, so I do try to make sure he's okay. Apparently a collie on a 6.6. We've marshalled Haaland pretty well. Souček now. Danny Ings presenting. Finds Zanolo, the elite winger he is. And this is a man that can come into games and change him. Look at him go. Look at him go. Look at him go. Nicolo Zanolo with an utter outrageous run. What a finish. It's 4-0. West Ham. He picked it up within his own half and he left everybody for dead. And this is why I want him to start week in, week out. And then he slots it across Edison. What a goal, what a run, what a move. It's 4-0 against Manchester City at home at the London Stadium. We are a really good footballing side. And Zuma sweeps up. Pickford, Okoli, Creswell. Look at Pasquetta. Drops in and then decides not to turn. I did look at Pasquetta. Did well to get underneath Tammy. Good press from Bowen. Zanolo wanted it out wide early, didn't get it, and now we're in trouble because Sasado decided not to turn and decided to give it back to Souček out of man on him. Javi Gallen. Haaland, there's a goal. Well, there he is. Sterling Haaland, you can't stop him. But mercifully, we scored 4 by the time they've done that. And it's our own fault in the middle of the park. Like, I love the football. I love how expressive we try to be and everything. But yeah, that's just our fault in the middle of the park. Going to make a change with that as well. Souček for Seiwald, who's going to actually come in and be deep line playmaker. Just hold there. So Sado's had a pretty good game. And I'm actually going to bring Luis Pasquetta in. And Marino's actually going to help me in 2 box to box. I did this against Liverpool in a game, which I think was on YouTube. And it will do okay. I'm just going to go. It's 4-1. Don't need to be too expansive. Stay in the same system. Now it's just about relax. You know, 2 workman-like midfielders still playing the same way. And they'll be a little bit more hard-working in the middle of the park. I will also just lower the tempo here slightly and start time wasting. Still going to play the same football, but I'm looking just to keep the ball a little bit more here. Really give City nothing, and they've had nothing. Bar one poor moment at the back. They've had nothing. I will say FM loves a 4-2. I feel like that's the most common result ever on FM is 4-2, so... do expect City to score 1 more. But I don't care. It's 3 points against the City side that we were 4-0 up against. 2 guys gone for the same ball. Typical Football Manager. Could have been left as well. Haaland's in there. Cleared away. Sasado not known for wearing a header. But it falls to Marino. Finds Danny Ings. Zanolo, who scored that weldy of a goal, just left behind him, unfortunately. Sasado presses Javi Gallen. Laporte. Danny Ings cutting the passing lane there, which was nice. And Marino probably should have won it. Yan Kuto. Good from Creswell. That's going to freaking fall to Tammy, isn't it? Football Manager, like I said, loves a 4-2. That was probably a bit undeserved that they've scored 2. We've been outrageously good. But if you have a look at that, we've pressed well. It was a ball that should have been one in the middle of the park. And then, you know, in real life, Pickford swallowed that. But, yeah, Football Manager. 91st minute, Collie backstick heads straight at Edison. If they score right now, I'll get worried. Are we really... Is FM really not going to allow us to win this game? Tammy's a big boy. Well done, Seiwald. Creswell. And Collie. Marino. Sasado. Cut out again. I don't know what's going on. Last 10 minutes been really poor. We can't hit a final ball into any striker feet or anything. Collie heads. Haaland's going to win that. I'm nervous now. They score right now. We're going to draw 4-4. That's a goal. I'm going to have to, after a world-class performance, I'm going to have to blast them because the last 10 minutes we've had City back in. Oh my God. Well, this got nervy. If they win the ball here, they don't, and Zanola hits the post. That should be the highlight and game over. But if they won the ball, they went on the break, I would have been livid. It still could be. Zuma sweeps up. Creswell now. Thumps one. We're going to concede. Haaland, well done Gomez. Falls back to Haaland. It's all falling back to him. Referee, you whistle. 30 seconds over time. Danny Ings wins. Zanolo now is going to go in by himself. Gomez. Zanolo. Game over. That should have never been that nervy. 67th minute. And then 89th and 92nd. And from 4-0 up and domination, City played 10 minutes of football. I want to tell him the second half was really good. Well done on winning, I'm going to tell you, but we're going to have to talk about the second half wasn't good enough. It's true. Few people seem demotivated and look stressed, but you can't concede 3 goals after putting that performance in. Poor old Calvert-Lewin seems to have confused and demotivated with a 9.7, which is fair enough. It's a win. That's all that matters, but fucking 4-0 up, that is not good enough. We'll praise Calvert-Lewin there. But yeah, that's interesting. Can I go to the data hub? That is not how that game should have played out at all. Look at this. Dominated most. And then just last 10 minutes. Those defensive changes did not work. And usually I lower the tempo in most games and we don't see a highlight. We keep the ball 65%, no dramas. That's odd. Odd that change, which has worked all year to see us see out games, has done that, which is really, really odd. Like, I did it against Leicester where we dominated, right? And I moved it to this here, and the game stayed, domination because we're more on the ball. Had to do it against Bournemouth here, when we won 1-0. Yeah, very odd. But since we last met, by the way, which was the Dortmund game, lost and Chelsea, beat Arsenal Cabaret Cup, beat Bournemouth, beat Leicester, and then we played Man City. Okay, I don't know what to take from that. I guess we take the positive of we beat City and we were 4-0 up, and then we take the negative of, for whatever reason, we allowed City back into it and realistically probably could have drew 4-4. But yeah, look, our best football on its day is good enough. And we're in a pretty big position with Liverpool incoming. Okay, YouTube, welcome back in. Liverpool, West Ham, massive game. First versus second as we got Jurgen Klopp's men at Anfield. Since we last met, one surprising result. We are live on stream, so links down below to come follow us live on the Twitch. We beat Ajax 3-0, dominated. They went down to 10 men. It was fine. And then this one here, first game on stream. Always happens, first game on stream, never goes to plan. Zanolo with an injury, luckily not long term, but he will be out of this game here today. 1-0 down, scored to go 1-1, went 2-1 up with 10 men because Gomez got sent off for a tackle, which was one of those ones that look okay on the match engine, but the graphics engine, yeah, it's one of those ones where I just show you. He wins the ball from front on, but you know it's a red card because the graphics engine's trying to show that he double foot someone, but then it hasn't computed that properly. Because like he comes from here and he just gets there and there's a little scissor motion. He hasn't even gone on the floor, is the guy. So, yeah, it's one of those ones where that doesn't look too bad, but it always gets given a red card on FM. We then played Young Boys fully rotated, 1-3-1 there as well. I will say a worrying concern is, at the start of the year, we kept a fair few more clean sheets. Now we've had a slightly harder run of late. We've only kept 1 clean sheet in the last month of football. 7th and then the 9th here, last month, 1 clean sheet. I think everything points to Liverpool slapping us here today. We were 4-0 up against City, and then, that happened too. Just feel like today, since logging into FM, it's one of those days where you just concede every chance. In terms of the team, though, Bellerin is coming in because we had to go and remove the suspended Joe Gomez. So Noto's past fit, not recommended to be selected, whatever. I just don't see the world in risking him. We could bring him out here, it's great, and then he gets a longer-term injury, and then what do you do? Where he misses this game against here, we probably borderline back for Newcastle, definitely back for the Cabaret Cup, is what is. But Pickford, Bellerin, Zuma, Okoli, Estupian, everyone getting on very well. Suchek, Pasquetta, and Sasito, definitely our best midfield 3. There is a world where we could actually play Zanolo here. But Bowen, Thuram, because of the injury as well, and Calvert-Lewin up top, who's having a fantastic year. I think that's as good as a team as any. Let's go out there and see what we can do. Liverpool, though, have been fantastic. We're definitely going to go and recap their transfers as well in the last year. See what Jurgen Klopp and his men have done. We're going to kick an Alisson who's got a bit of a knock. What has he got? Don't know what he's injured with, but apparently not. But let's go to Liverpool, who are currently top. Transfer-wise, transfer history. Last year, they're bringing anyone in. Pavard, Taremi from Porto. Nafanake, we all know that he came in on loan. And they bought Frankie de Jong for 174 million. We don't have that money to spend in real life, but that's great that they're spending it there because we need midfielders in real life. But yeah, on the outs, 27 mil only. Bobby went out for 24 mil, etc. Bobby obviously leaving on a free. Last year, they didn't do too much. And then this year, obviously, the official signing of Ake. They got this guy here called Hugo at 23 from very, very cheap. Weird signing. And Alfonso Souza as a backup attacking midfielder. Interesting as well. Has he played? Played 2 games for 3 goals. That's actually not bad. And then the outs Bobby Clark, and that's it. So not much going on from Liverpool apart from the fact that they've signed a couple of people a bit out of the world. But yeah, De Jong not even starting when they spent 172 million on him. Right. By the way, Darwin Núñez, fantastic on FM. Just elite. But yeah, Alisson, Fabinho, Konate, Van Dijk, and Ake. No Trent Alexander-Arnold. TAA. It's a weird signing. Gakpo, by the way. New face pack in play. Where's TAA? Trent being dropped. Not even Trent being dropped. Weird lineup. There, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott can get at the midfield if we really want to. Our midfield is better than that midfield free starting. Henderson's obviously still a very good footballer, but Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott will be an absolute baller one day, just not there yet, and a bit overrated from a Liverpool fan. Sutherland 100%, Jota, and Darwin Núñez. And then Fabinho playing right back, which he did for Monaco before he moved to Liverpool, but doesn't really do that for us. I'm also, by the way, a big fan in real life, playing Trent in the middle of the park to relieve that defensive duties and let him just do whatever. I think he's actually defensively a decent enough footballer, just with that passing range, getting up and down and what he can do with both feet. I think he'd be really good in the middle of the park where he played as an under-23 and an under-18 for Liverpool. And I would actually play Henderson at right back in real life, but that's me, not Klopp. Anyway, at Anfield, we led here last year. Be interesting to see what we do here as Fabinho bombs on. He's good with his ball and can whip one in. And Collie doesn't clear well. Jota, Henderson, try to squeeze, we don't. Feel like if we concede right now, it's going to be a long day as Jota, wow, that's lucky. Thank God he missed. Would have been one of those ones where it's just like, oh, it's falling back to him. FIFA. But anyway, Macaulay, Zuma, out the other side. This is where we've been really good all year. Bowen needs to present at feet, and he never did. We've been really good all year at that, and then Bowen decides I'm just going to stand there and not move. Great chase from Bowen, though. Calvert-Lewin dropping in as the pressing forward as well, which is great. And their midfield block is holding us quite well, to be honest. Collie, thank you for the follow there. DYNK, or 2K. Pesqueta, poor ball, not on. Weird start from us. We're so good at finding the balls through the middle of the park and playing between the lines. First 3 minutes, really, really weird start. That's a great ball. And Núñez misses. We're very lucky to still be 0-0 after a couple of minutes. It's a really poor start from us. "13 minutes of Stupien. Thuram. Yeah, it's one of those games where you just know that it's not your day. You can tell already. You can already tell that FM has loaded this game up as us to play poorly. In our biggest game of the season, we can't even take a touch. Good tracking run from Bowen. Souček wins. Why would you give it back to the guy that's got people on him? Thank you. Liverpool trying to squeeze, which is fine. Play it back. Go back to your keeper. Reset, please, out the other side. We do. A Collie. This is where we need to find a Stupien. Or Calvert-Lewin. Thuram finds Calvert-Lewin straight at Becky. He had to side foot it around him. We went with the chip instead. Calvert-Lewin, who's got 14 goals in as many matches this year. Misses a one-on-one against Liverpool. There was a moment of quality in that. I still think the ball should have went out to a Stupien, but that's the press. They're pressing us so heavy. If we can find our fullback, we're going to have so much time on the ball. Fabinho bombing on because no Trent. Salah, problem. Great save, Pickford. Falls to Darwin. Get it away, Souček. Don't dribble it there. Great save, Jordan Pickford. Loves a big game at Anfield, doesn't he, Mr. Jordan Pickford? Also love spilling them too for Divock Origi. But yeah, 35 minutes played. Been good, to be fair, statistically. Just every match highlight has not been great. Stupinian. Out the other side, you've got Kurt Zouma. Try to go the same way against Liverpool, just deaf. Can we please play the other way? Go, thank you. And fucking go out the other side. That's the whole reason we play on fairly wide wingers. Bowen now. Bellerin. Now you got space for Souček. Said early ball in. Thuram's there. Is he onside? Is he onside? What a ball from Hector Bellerin. And we might lead 1-0 at Anfield at the Cop End. It has been given. Fabinho left in the lurch. Finally got a ball out the other side. Bellerin one touch, looked up. Thuram made the run. Fabinho left cold. And that's a header. Marcus Thuram. 1-0. He's a big boy at the back stick. We love it. Great ball in. Just onside, as you can tell at the bottom of your screen. And a great header too, to be fair. We lead 1-0 in a game where it's been fairly even. 45 minutes away from beating Liverpool at Anfield. We did lead last year at Anfield and lost. Liverpool now spin around and attack the Cop End. We will go in front of our away fans. 45 minutes away. Becker. Second line to Nathan Ake. Bowen needs to track that run. And he does. And there he is. He's got Bellerin with him. Salcedo dropping in. And then forgets that he had the ball at his feet. Bellerin does so well. He's playing superbly well. Jared Bowen, what a run. Calvert-Lewin wanted it through the middle. Hector Bellerin. Souček with him. Thuram. Estupiñán wanted it. Ignored. That's okay. Out the other side. See? That extra ball to the centre-back opens up so much space for us because of Liverpool's press. Bowen again. Bellerin on the overlapping run. Bellerin went for goal. Was in the perfect position to get byline and cross it to Calvert-Lewin or Thuram. Didn't do it. 1-0 still, 59 minutes. Long throw, Zouma heads. Souček wins. Pesqueta can release people if he needs to. He was arguably fouled. Advantage played. Bellerin again, he's having a stormer. And we say that and he gives the ball straight to Ake. Bellerin, good tackle there. He's everywhere at the minute, Hector Bellerin. Thuram, ball and a half. Calvert-Lewin run. Calvert-Lewin 1-on-1. Firing blanks is Calvert-Lewin today. 62 minutes played, boys. We're still 1-0 up at Anfield. In a monstrous game. Been slightly better side. We've got height at the back stick. Kurt Zouma's that boy. Handball? Apparently it was handball against Zouma. I thought it was the other way around, but that's fair. Gakpo on now. Gakpo doing Gakpo things. Falls to Pavard. Deflected everywhere. Curtis Jones. Of all the ways to concede. Clean gameplay once, Football Manager. Of all the ways to concede. Deflected shot to deflected cross. Yeah, whatever. Utter BS. Vlasic had a really good year. I'm going to trust him. Same idea. Rasic is going to come straight into there. Marino's going to come in for Souček as a deeper line playmaker here and to look to distribute the ball. I think the Bellerin's dead. Don't care. I think getting Creswell on is actually probably a smart move here too for Estupiñán. Fresher legs. I know he's not as quick, but fresher legs. Calvert-Lewin's had a stinker. I think Danny Ings on the last man as well. 75 minutes played. Make the changes. Off we go. Pickford. And Colley's got Creswell out. That's the press that we had to break. It's just that one ball. Vlasic. It's been a really good year. Marino. Great ball to Vlasic. Before this highlight ends in Liverpool scoring, can we just have a look what's happened in this game? The first highlight we saw, ball fell back to Jota, put wide. Have a look at the goal. It was deflected on a cross to a deflected shot that falls to a deflected cross that deflects in the air, and apparently out of everybody, Curtis Jones wins the header. And 1-2 perfect, and somehow hits the back of Vlasic, where if it's half a yard left or right of him, he's currently 1-on-1 with Alisson. Just watch Liverpool score. We've played enough Football Manager, enough for your hours on FM throughout the years to know. Hits the back of Zouma. Football Manager, please. Just be clean. Here we go. GG us. 2-1 down. Look at this, man. Look at this. Hits Zuma. Hits Vlasic. Offside, thankfully. If FM's ever scripted a game, I don't like complaining. He looks borderline onside there, to be fair. The lines were not drawn in the right area. Even game of football. I would happily let it equal 1-1 if Liverpool scored a very good goal. To concede that, that's what makes this FM23 one of the worst FMs ever, because it gives you that dirty taste. And saying that, though, what a performance. We beat City, and we just drew to Liverpool at Anfield. Title contenders? I think we have to be in the bracket now. I think we have to be in the bracket of title contenders now. We're beating the teams around us. We're not losing to that. But yeah, it's been weird. Smarticus in the chat, in the Twitch chat, as we are live here, YouTube. Links down below. Hey, where's my OBS? Yeah. Actually, engine's so much more frustrating since the update. And it's just yet again, it's the match engine and the graphics engine not being able to mirror up and show what they both want to show. Like the goal that Liverpool scored, the match engine that dictates the game goes, Liverpool score from this highlight. And the graphic engine was like, we don't know how to show it. Chaos goal. Doesn't happen like that. Like, I would much rather Gakpo beats 2, hits it from the edge of the area, top bin. I'd be like, class, okay, fair enough. Or Gakpo hits it and it deflects, but the deflection falls to Pavard, who then hits it in the back of the net. I'd be like, it's one of those things that happen, you know? But when it goes deflection to Pavard, who crosses, and then the guy steps out, and it's a lunge, and it hits him, and where it hits him is like in the middle of his knee, so it would be going where the ball's come from, out for a corner. If that hits him, deflects, and goes in the back of the net, it's unlucky. But that's more realistic than the ball hitting him here on this part of his foot, and then the ball going up in the air. 3 centre-backs will look at it, and then out of anyone, it's a small Curtis Jones that goes bang, goal, and apparently can generate 1,000,000 miles of power off a standing header to get past Pickford there too. Makes no sense. Would have rather that. You know, same way with the Jota chance. If that highlight would have been much better if it was just the defender doesn't win it and then it bounces off him and then it falls back to Jota in the first half, where it's Jota gets it and Jota puts it wide, and it's just like, wow, big miss by Jota in open play, instead of being, oh, Kurt Zimmer's read that, well done. Oh, no, it's hit Jota, hit Zuma, hit back to Jota. It's very, I don't like using the term FIFA issue because I haven't played FIFA in over a year now, right? And I don't intend to buy FIFA any time in the future. And it was mainly that sort of gameplay that really annoyed me about FIFA, because if you played well in a game, you dominated a game or whatever, you always felt like there was an element of the ball is going to just bounce off 2 or 3 different people and fall to someone and they'll score, right? And it's getting more and more like that in this match engine right now, which is, I don't want to rant like this in the end of a YouTube episode either, but we had the question on Twitch in the YouTube video, so you get this on Twitch a fair bit here, YouTube, if you ever want to come have a look. Yeah, and it's just frustrating. Like, have a look at the disallowed goal. We're lucky it's disallowed. Build-up play unreal. Ball over the top that hits the back of my winger. When does that ever happen in football at the elite level? Barely, if not ever. So you're telling me it happens against Liverpool at Anfield in a game that they're chasing? Sure. And then you're telling me Kurt Zuma, who's one of the best centre-backs in the league, is going to try and leave a ball and let it hit his back of his head to fall back to them? No, doesn't work like that. Yeah, it's all a bit weird. Anyhow, to recap in short, City 4-0 up, drew 1-4-3 because we tried to give it away. And we drew to Liverpool at Anfield after leading 1-0. Again, we led it at Anfield 1-0 for the second year in a row. We're a very good footballing side. We're having a very good time of it. Bar the draw to Palace, we've only lost twice all year, and that was to Man United, then Chelsea, double header in between Dortmund. We are flying at the moment, and we are title contenders. Till then, I'll see you next time. Actually, I think that we have the Champions League draw on the 11th, so we're actually going to stay alive here, YouTube. Do apologise. Been a bit of a weird episode, this. Yeah, we'll do the press conference. I think we're going to see the draw here quickly. Yeah, whatever. Talk about West Ham. I don't care. I don't even know what I said. I only do them now just to get my media reputation up for other jobs. And then I'll eventually stop doing them at some stage. Can we have a look at the data hub maybe while we're here? Bit of an extended pause here. I hate when it does this. Doesn't give me what I want. See, patches, look. Domination and Liverpool ebbed and flowed a lot. Ebbed and flowed a lot. And if we're doing that to a world-class Liverpool side on the Jurgen Klopp, we're doing a very, very, very good job. There's periods where it was good and there's periods that weren't. But I think that's where we're so dangerous at home that we can do that at Anfield. At home, every time we have a goal kick, we will beat their press. Don't know what it is. Home team bias, probably. But yeah. I'm pretty sure the draw for the round of 16 is on today. Here it is. All right, here we go. We've been seeded for the draw. Round of 16 draw, Champions League. We could put the Champions League music on. I'm not going to just in case I get copyrighted. But start the draw now. So we are seeded. Ronald Koeman is in charge of it. Who are the unseeded teams? We can't get Liverpool because we're English, which means it's Marseille. We can't get Ajax because they came out of our group as well. So it's Marseille, Napoli, Atlanta, Milan, Valencia, or Bayer 04. I'm telling you right now, if we avoid Milan, we're going to be red hot. I think out of all the teams there, we want Marseille or Bayer 04, personally. But that's pretty good. Seeded teams here, Real Madrid, Bayern, City, Inter, West Ham, PSG, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona. Who's the odd one out there? Inter Milan. Lol. Let's see what happens. First out the hat is Marseille. Means we'll be away from home. Don't mind Marseille. If it's Marseille, I'll take it. It's Real Madrid. All right. Second out the hat is going to be Ajax. Can't get him. Wish we could. Can't do it, unfortunately. Bayern Munich, going to get an easy passage. Look, if Ajax actually rock up there, all right. Atlanta. I don't mind Atlanta. Man City. Okay. I don't particularly want Napoli, and I don't want Milan. Bayer 04. This is one we don't mind, boys. West Ham. Say West Ham, Ronald Koeman. Inter. Oh, it's not looking good, boys. Napoli. Parthenope. West Ham. Alright, so we're going to get Napoli. Well, there's the last part of the episode. We draw Napoli. Away from home. Napoli currently sits second in Serie A, having a really good year. But behind Atlanta. Serie A, by the way, is getting very competitive at the minute. They finished second in a group. Napoli finished in Group G with Barcelona by the looks of it. I'll bring it up so everyone can see. Barcelona, so yeah, they had a really good time. They would have probably topped most other groups. That is not good. Victor Osimhen as well. All right, we got one of the harder draws there. That's not particularly great. I'm telling you right now, if we got Atlanta, we got Marseille, we got Valencia, we'd probably be through to a quarter-final, first year ever in the Champions League. Napoli are about our level. Napoli are a very good footballing side. Like, they're one of the sides I would target in the Serie A to spend a couple of years to build up. In saying that, though, that isn't going to be next episode because we will definitely have to come back with some games for you out here, especially if we get a big draw in the third round or the fourth round of the FA Cup. But it will be a game before we get to Napoli. But that will be another episode down the track where we will get Napoli in the Champions League knockout stage for the first time ever in the save. And until then, thank you very much for watching. Do understand this has been a bit lengthy and a bit wordy, but beat Man City, drew to Liverpool away at Anfield, title contenders. Yeah, we really are.